Hi guys, PJ here. Today I'm going to be working on a 2005 Peugeot Boxer. This is actually a camper conversion, so what we're going to be doing is pulling the original radio out and the tray out, putting a doubled in touchscreen AV unit in there, which basically will be wired to play all the time. So in other words, you'll be able to have the ignition off, play music and manually turn it off when you want to. On this particular vehicle, to get these radios out, you're going to need a couple of these release keys. You get these from car shops, eBay, Amazon, that type of place, normally a couple of pounds, not dear. All you normally do with these is pop them in the slots, like so. They should click. I have noticed that the slots on this one are a bit battered, so somebody's had something in there in the past. Now, if that's the case, what can happen if somebody's rammed a little screwdriver or something in the slots is they can wreck the release mechanism and the radio becomes incredibly difficult to remove. If you've got a sticky radio, you're going to have to pull the pocket out first, which basically you're going to need a plastic leverage tool, like so. Not a screwdriver, guys, because a screwdriver will make horrible dints in the plastic and make a right mess. But if the radio removes the proper way, you basically spread the pins slightly and pull. So you basically thumb on each one, pull them apart from each other and pull, and it should come out. So, moment of truth, let's see if this one will. As expected, not a hope in hell. This side's releasing, this side is not. Firm as a heck. So in other words, somebody's broke this release mechanism on this side. So you're going to get your plastic leverage tool and pop. Pop. There we go. The plate comes out, which gives you access to the rear of the unit. So you're going to have to do a bit of levering because there's a metal cage that this sits in just here. And down the side here is your release mechanism, so we've got to do a bit of leverage to try and get this out. Okay, for the radio finally out, and that did take quite a few minutes because somebody had made a real mess of the release mechanism on the side of it. These are what the little pins are meant to shoot in and push back, but as you can see, it's been completely mullered in the past. There we go. And then basically we're going to move on to these two screws. You've got Phillips screw here, Phillips screw here. I'm going to unscrew those, grab the cage, pull the cage out, and then for a double DIN conversion we've actually got to cut this plastic all the way off. So these two little lugs here, each side have got to go completely. Okay, please note where I'm cutting on this, yeah? So we're leaving this sticky out lug just here on both sides. So we're actually cutting here, yeah, just in front, look, leaving that lug there for the cage to rest on. So the lip of the cage has got something to rest on. Now you are going to be left with a tiny gap at the top, about 1 centimetre, half an inch at the top. We're going to use some black foam pads to pad that out and fill up the gap. There isn't, to my knowledge, a proper fitting kit made for these conversions, so it's a bit of improvisation. I will show you that very shortly though. This is how a finished article should look. So you've got the little bits each side. So in other words, when you pop your cage in, so there's a cage look that comes with the new aftermarket radio, it goes in and sits snug. So these lips here have got something to rest on, and at the bottom we've got something to rest on. The only thing you've got is this gap at the top, but we'll address that, like I say, a bit later on. Next thing up, we're going to come across here, open this up, TX20s, TX25 on this particular one. Remove the TX25s, 4 of them, and basically pull that out so that we can get cabling run across the back here. Because on this particular one, you've got a DAB aerial, which is, I've just stuck it here, yeah, so it sticks to the window, and then your cabling can pop over your sun blinds and then run down the A-pillar. Your new radio has a microphone like this. You'd normally clip it up by the rear view mirror on a car, but on a van or a camper van like this, the window screen is normally quite far away and the sun blinds in the way. So what we're going to do with this one, it comes with a sticky mount, look, is actually stick it in front of the clock. So what we do with that is pull this off, it's on some clips, look, just pull it straight up, and then you can feed your cable, your plug-in cable, basically from the top here, down here, through here, underneath, up here, and out here. So your microphone will sit smack bang in front of you between your fuel and your temperature gauge on the vehicle. Okay, there's the microphone run. So like I say, it's sat right smack bang in the middle there. Get good coverage, can hear your voice very well from that. And then we've basically, you bring the cable down here, yeah, so you can basically, I don't know if you can see there, but you can get your hand right into this corner and pop the cable down underneath and out here. This piece, when you've removed your TX25s, some clips, you can pull it up, pop it out of the way. Gives you a nice access look to inside the dash, so you can run all your cables along there and pop them out through here. You can also drop them down through here and get to the side, so it is lovely access on these vehicles to get all this done. So what I'm going to do now is run the DAB aerial that I showed you. So we've got a DAB cable there, there's a actual aerial cable and a power for this one. This is a powered one, so it's going to go on the power output, and that's going to end up running down here, through here, across here and out there. As the radio in question all sort of clicked in, like I say, it would be nice if there was a proper fitting kit available for this. Now, I'm trade and the people I deal with don't have a fitting kit for this, so you are left with these little dents here that are in the dashboard, and also this foam sort of bodge that I've done at the top here. But it's either that or there's a gap. You could probably craft a piece of plastic to fit around it if you have the time. I don't. I'm time limited on all these jobs, so it's normally, you know, get the item in and get it presentable. But it doesn't mean to say there isn't a fitting kit made, so it might be a case of searching the web, guys, see if you can actually find one for this particular vehicle before taking this endeavour on. The other option is to sit the radio slightly further back so that the foam sits sort of smooth here. The only thing is, to do that, you normally end up drilling each side of the cage to put some self-tappers in to hold it in place, because there's nothing to actually stop it from just wobbling around if you do it that way. I've done it that way myself in the past, but you know, if you're going to sell the van in the future, you've got to be careful how much sort of damage you're doing to the back of it if you want to put the original radio back in. Anyway, for those that are wondering, this particular radio is a Pioneer SPH DA160 DAB. I've got a full review of one of these on my channel, so you know, have a look for that. They are pretty good radio, they do everything. You've got an Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, they do both, which is nice. They support 2 phones at once, Bluetooth, DAB, etc, etc, so they're quite a nice radio. But guys, I hope that was helpful to you, for somebody out there. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.